You've heard the name, you've seen the image, but do you know the untold story of Nelson Mandela? A man whose legend overshadows his struggles. This is the story they don't always tell you. Long before the prison bars and the presidency, Nelson Mandela was just a boy named Rolilala, translated as troublemaker. Born into the Thembu royal family in 1918, his destiny was to be a counselor to kings, not a fighter against injustice. But fate had other plans. As a young lawyer in Johannesburg, Mandela was different. He wore sharp suits, drove a stylish car, and carried the spirit of rebellion in his heart. In the 1950s, he co-founded South Africa's first black law firm, offering free or cheap legal services to those suffering under apartheid. But fighting the system with the law wasn't enough. He needed a new path. Here's what many don't know. Nelson Mandela was not always the peaceful icon we celebrate today. After years of non-violent protests met with violence, he co-founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, Spear of the Nation, the armed wing of the ANC. Trained in guerrilla warfare, Mandela planned sabotage campaigns against government facilities, avoiding civilian casualties. He was branded a terrorist, but in his mind, he was a soldier of freedom. The world saw Mandela as a prisoner, but few know the battles he fought behind bars. Locked away for 27 years, he faced psychological torture, forced labor, and racial abuse. But prison didn't break him, it refined him. His most powerful weapon? Words. From his tiny cell, he negotiated with the government, wrote letters of hope, and studied his enemies to understand them better. By the time he walked free in 1990, he was more than a leader. He was a strategist ready to reshape history. Greatness comes at a cost. Mandela paid with his family. His marriage to Winnie Mandela crumbled under the weight of struggle. His children grew up without him, and even after his release, he had to balance being a father to a nation while making up for lost time at home. Freedom had a price. In Africa, power is rarely surrendered willingly. But Mandela? He served one term as South Africa's first black president and then walked away. No power struggles, no extensions. He proved that true leadership is about service, not control. Today, Mandela's face is on banknotes, statues, and t-shirts. But his true legacy? It lives in the power of forgiveness, in the fight against injustice, in the belief that one person can change the course of history. It always seems impossible until it's done. This is Nelson Mandela's untold story, a reminder that heroes are not born, they are made through struggle, sacrifice, and unbreakable spirit. What will your story be?